Morning, folks. Today we're going to be working with this older Arab mare again, and we're going to be focused on some hobble training with an anxious horse like she is. I believe that hobble training is going to do her some good. She is kind of fidgety when you're saddling and just likes to move around, so I think it's going to help her learn to be quiet and learn to just settle.
The hobbles I'm using on this mare today are a soft cotton hobble. You do have to slip on one foot, let it tighten up, and then slip it on the other one. I have a wide variety of hobbles. Usually these nylon ones are not ones that I like to use first thing on a horse, because these buckles can cut into them if they struggle. But there's all different kinds of hobbles out there. These are great for a first-time horse getting hobbles on. Getting them off sometimes can be a little bit of a problem, but that's what I'm going to be using on her today.
When I used to do clinics and expos talking about hobbling, one of the first questions people would ask is, what is the benefits of hobble training a horse? And I was introduced to hobbles probably somewhere around when I was about 13 years old, and I had read about them, I had seen them before, but the use of them, we really didn't use them. And I went to work on a ranch. We lived on a ranch in southwest Colorado, and they hobbled everything. There was a few people there that hobbled every horse they ever saddled, I guess. But probably the first benefit of hobble training is just teaching the horse not to struggle when their front feet's caught, and you're taking away the horse's flight instinct, their ability to flee. Some horses get pretty proficient at running with hobbles on, but it does limit their ability to run. And as you can see here, this mare's trying to learn about it. This is the first time I've put hobbles on her, and I'm just walking around her. She's real fidgety when you are working around her, currying her, brushing her off, and she likes to move around. She likes to walk into you. So getting her in a position where she has to face her emotions is a really good thing for her. The next benefit is, like with this mare, is just teaching them to be more quiet as you're moving around. She's never had that, I don't think she's ever been allowed to just be quiet. Here I'll lead her a little bit and just let her move her feet and find out that she is tied up, and that if she struggles, she's not going to just be able to move her feet real quick. Next thing I'll do is just what I normally would do: throw a rope around them. Anything that would make them anxious, I'll take and do that around them. I don't particularly like to use flags around them when they're hobbled, but anything that'll just make her anxious. In this first interaction here while she's hobbled, I don't want it to be too big, but as she becomes a little bit more comfortable with it, I'll probably do a few more things with her. But just in the first interaction, I want it to be a good outcome for her, so I'm going to set her up for success and not do too much to get her excited while she's hobbled this first time. One of the things that I like to do with a horse that I'm training is saddle them up while they're hobbled. You know, I've saddled this mare probably 100 times, and she's really fidgety, and being able to saddle a horse while they're hobbled really, like I said before, gets them to face their anxiety other than moving their feet. When I went to go get the saddle, she did kind of hop over to the corner and wanted to be near that other horse. And I think if she was on a trail ride with another horse, I think she'd be more comfortable. I just don't have anybody to ride with me. So I don't have a hold over here. I'm just going to saddle her up, and whatever she does. I do get a hold over here in a minute, because she really thinks about leaving and taking off. And this is what she would do if she were unhobbled. She would take off. If you didn't have a hold of her, she'd just walk off and leave you, just out of her anxiety. And whatever interaction she's had in the past, were not good interactions. And as a saddler up here, I'll fidget around quite a bit. And years ago, when I was working in the security business, I worked in a hospital for developmentally delayed patients. And one of the treatments that they used there was weighted blankets, and some of the kids and some of the patients found a lot of relief from having a weighted blanket. And you would think it would be the exact opposite, but some of these horses are the same way. A little bit more contact will help an anxious horse, whereas just pitching them away, they really don't have a support system. And I find that in young horses, a little bit of contact, more than most people are used to, will help support that horse in their decisions and keep them on track, keep them making the right decisions. So some people, you know, want to call it micromanaging. I'm not micromanaging. I'm just trying to support that horse to make good decisions, and I think that that's really key in young horses. I think too many times people try to ride them like a finished horse. There comes a time for that when you can trust them, but if a horse is anxious and a horse is upset, a little bit of contact, what I call positive reinforcement, is good for the horse. So these hobbles kind of work like that. They help her where I'm not having to just hang on to her and redirect her feet all the time. It's kind of just a support system to say you can stand still and you don't have to move your feet around. So she's doing pretty good here with the saddling. She settled down, and I'm going to be getting her ready to do a few more things that I'm going to bring in some more videos. And once I get her saddled up here, you'll see me tie the stirrups together. That's me getting ready to drive her with some driving reins. But overall, I think she did fairly well. She's learning through some things. I like to watch a horse try to figure things out, and I'm going to go to put the bridle on her. I've never had trouble bridling this horse, and today she didn't want to take him and bridle it, so she had a little bit of anxiety there about the bridling. But I'm just putting a snaffle bit in her, adjusting it. It was kind of loose, but that's okay. Here I just tie up my halter. getting my lashing to tie the stirrups together. So in the next video, I'll bring you me driving her and just introducing her to driving or long lining. I think it really helps get a good handle on a horse while you're on the ground. They learn to balance a little bit better before you get on their back, and it helps work through all the boogers and tight spots and things where they might act up. Now, like I say, I've ridden her quite a bit, but driving's always a good training tool. Here I'm trying to get this hobble off, and she's having a hard time giving to that pressure, and that's what it's all about. A lot of times horses pulling their feet, and first one thing and another is they're just not used to giving to the pressure. See, I'm trying to tighten it up on one side so I can loosen it on this near side leg, and I do eventually get it and get the hobbles off of her. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I know it's a quick little old video, but we covered a lot of stuff here, and hopefully it helps you out. Remember, in this old world, if you don't know which way to go, commit your ways unto the Lord. Trust also in Him, and He'll bring it to pass. We'll see you later.